The 22nd incident. In the summer of 2013, in the Swiss Alps, a man named Mark Sutton prepared for what should have been another breathtaking flight. Mark was a professional parachutist and a legend in his sport, best known for his role in the 2012 London Olympics, where he famously jumped into the stadium dressed as James Bond. But this time, his jump would not end with applause. As he launched himself from the mountain, he soared for only 20 seconds. Then, in an instant, it was gone. He lost control, veered off his path, and slammed into the side of the mountain. His body was unrecognizable. Investigators later examined the footage to figure out what went wrong. No one knows if it was a miscalculation or a sudden gust of wind. The cause was irrelevant. The outcome was the same. In extreme sports, even 20 seconds can be enough to determine your fate. The subway surfing incident. Imagine clinging to the side of a speeding train, the wind screaming in your ears. This is train surfing, one of the most dangerous daredevil sports out there. The man had been riding on the outside of a New York subway train. For a few moments, he clung to the side. Then he climbed to the top, where he felt the roar of the tracks give him a thrill like no other.
I'm sure most of you have played Subway Surfers at least once in your life. Yeah, it's nowhere near as hilarious in real life.
As you could assume, he'd get more than he bargained for. A tunnel showed up, and before he could even process what he saw, his head. Because of the extreme air pressure, he fell and was caught underneath the train. When officers arrived, they found him with his body decapitated. The adrenaline he had been chasing ended instantly. For the unfortunate commuters forced to pass the site, it was a grim reminder of the dangers lurking in the city's underground. The slam incident. High in the Swiss Alps, the snow glistened under a cold April sky. For a 21-year-old world champion snowboarder, this mountain was her playground. She had conquered countless competitions, and on this day, the mountain carved back. The snow began to move. Tons of snow and ice thundered down the mountain, faster than any snowboarder could outrun. It slammed into her with the force of a speeding vehicle. She was buried alive, crushed and disfigured. Rescue teams searched, but by the time they found her, it was already too late. Even with safety gear and avalanche detectors, the force was overwhelming. Even champions are fragile against nature. The Red Bull incident. The arena was packed. A 39-year-old matador faced down his opponent, a bull weighing over half a ton. The matador, a legend with over 2 decades of experience, effortlessly dodged the bull's charges. The crowd roared. But then, in a heartbeat, the balance shifted. The bull slammed into his face with a force so brutal that the horn struck his skull, fracturing upward through his jaw and out his eye. The crowd fell silent as blood poured onto the sand. The worst part? The man was fully conscious. He rose back from the ground like a zombie, screaming that he couldn't see. But to everyone's complete shock, the man actually survived. Against all odds, he returned to the ring less than a year later. He'd be scalped by a bull years later and survive again. The man is invincible. Adrenaline makes you feel invincible, but reality has no safety net.
So always make sure the risk is worth the reward.
As always, have a happy day.